If you could do just one reality check, what would it be? Take a moment right now to think about what your answer to that would be. If you were only limited to doing one, is there a favourite that you have, one that you feel works better than others? Well, today I'm going to give you my favourite, the one that I think really is one of the best, if not the best, reality check. And the reason that I'm making this video is because I've realised that this probably actually isn't that popular a reality check. Even I myself am guilty of forgetting to do this one sometimes, when in reality I think it's probably the best one by far out of all of the ones I've ever done. I'm sure lots of people count their fingers or poke a finger through the palm of their hand or try to breathe through their closed nose, and these are all fantastic reality checks. And if you're combining a few of these together, doing them regularly and taking them seriously, then they are going to work very well. But I think there is one that goes a little bit further than that. And it doesn't actually rely on testing if you're awake or you're dreaming. So it's kind of a weird reality check. It actually relies on testing your memory. So something that becomes pretty obvious if you actually look back at the course of events in your dreams is that they sort of start in the middle. You don't have a full set of chronological events that leads up to where you are right now in the dream. You're, standing in a field, going on an adventure, fighting a dragon, or going up the elevator in some office building to meet someone, and you don't really know how you got there. You don't have this series of memories about everything that happened leading up to there like you do in waking life. That's the thing, in waking life you can trace back all of the events of today, and you can trace back the events of tomorrow that preceded them, and the events of the day before, and so on. Now obviously everyone's memory is different. Some people have better memory than others, but normally if you have a healthy memory you can remember the last few days and all the events in them. Maybe not every little detail, but the overall picture of what you've done and why you're where you are right now. And that last part is the most important part. Right now, if I were to ask you why you're watching this video, what series of events led to you sitting down and watching this, or standing up and watching this, or whatever you might be doing, then you could probably tell me step by step. I was sitting on my computer, I got bored, I went on YouTube, I decided to look up lucid dreaming content. Or maybe you've been planning to lucid dream for a while, and so you intended the moment that you get back from work, you're going to actually watch this video. But whatever the case, you can trace back a series of events. Now try doing the same thing in a dream, and it doesn't really work quite so well. You find yourself in this field, chasing this dragon, or whatever it is that you're doing, and you think back, okay, what did I do before this? How did I get here? And suddenly you realise that there is nothing. You don't remember anything before getting to the field. Or if you remember something, you remember yesterday. You remember being awake in your house and now you're in a field chasing a dragon and you have no recollection of how you got there. So unless you got completely out of it and lost your mind for a day or something, there is no reason for you to have forgotten that series of events. And so that in itself is a really, really quick way to tell if you're dreaming or not. So why do I think this is the best reality check? Well, honestly, it's just because it involves a bit of thinking. It doesn't really involve much thinking to try and stick your finger through the palm of your hand. So it is very, very easy to take that reality check and, do it very seriously for a while and then sort of get lazy with it and just kind of half-ass it without even really looking at what you're doing. And when you start doing that and not putting in all the effort, then that reality check is going to stop working. But when it comes to retracing the events of your day, you have to sit there and you have to do a bit of thinking. You have to say, okay, I'm sitting here doing this now, and 5 minutes ago I was doing that, and then half an hour ago I was doing that, and I was doing that because I did this, and you have to actually trace back through each event of the day. And even if you have a photographic perfect memory of your entire day, it's going to take a bit of thinking. You can't really just click your fingers and recite the entire day in, half a second flat. You have to actually go through it step by step. So unlike other reality checks, there's no room for you to get lazy with it, and that makes it a fantastic reality check. And on top of that, the success rate for it actually working is extremely high as well. Because with something like trying to breathe through your closed nose, you're relying on the fact that in a dream, even though, in the real world you can't do that, in a dream that law doesn't apply, and so you can do that. But that doesn't mean that that's going to happen every time. Sometimes if you try to breathe through your closed nose, just because you expect not to be able to breathe through it, you're going to find that you can't. So while that reality check will work most of the time, it won't necessarily work all of the time. But the thing about the memory test is that same issue doesn't apply. You can expect that your finger isn't going to go through your palm, and that can make it happen. That can make it stop your finger going through. But expecting that you're going to remember a series of events before where you got to where you are right now in that dream isn't going to make you actually do that, because, you know, if the events aren't there, there's nothing for you to remember. So 1, this is probably the hardest reality check to get lazy with, and 2, it is probably one of the most effective in terms of it actually working every time. So if you're not already incorporating this into your reality check routine, I highly recommend that you start now. Now, I go into a lot more detail on different reality checks you can use, different induction techniques for getting lucid, different dream control techniques, and even how you can develop your own dream control techniques in my book, The Lucid Dream Book. If you want to find out more or get your hands on the book, you can check out the link in the top right hand corner, where there's a page that will detail everything you can find inside, and you can find out if it's right for you. There should also be a link down in the description below. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and enable all notifications so you can stay up to date when my new videos come out. And if you want to keep watching, check out one of the videos on screen, go watch that, and I'll see you there soon. Take care.